Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you for coming to my channel. Whenever I get a new guitar in, especially a custom guitar, I do a review on it to give the beginners an idea of what to look for when you're purchasing a musical instrument or guitar or bass. You know, I wish that my mother knew someone when she went and got me my first guitar. And it's to be expected, you know. You're not a musician, and your little kid keep begging for it. Give me one. And then you just shut them up. You go get them a guitar. And you go and you do the best that you can. And the first guitar, and most of you guys know this when they've been playing for a while and you first started, most likely your first guitar was some garbage, you know. And it's like, it's not deliberate. It's like, well, this is all I can afford, and I know nothing about the quality of guitars. You know, so thank goodness, you know, there is the internet now where you can come on and see people that have been playing for years and professional, and they give you a good recommendation of what to look for. Because like I said, if the internet was around when I was a kid, and I could just go on the internet and listen to a pro, and he said, this is what you can get. Here's the brand. It don't cost a whole lot of money, but it feels good to play. It's a quality guitar. You know, so consider you guys, the young folks out there, consider yourselves lucky. Because right out the gate, you get a good quality guitar for not a whole lot of money. But back in the 70s, you got garbage when you was poor. You know, my first guitar was awful. My second guitar was awful. My third one was okay. It was doable, you know. So lately what I do now is I get a lot of custom stuff. You know, I'm really interested in something different. You know, I got a lot of J Tercer guitars and bass guitars from J Tercer. And Samick, I bought a couple of bass guitars, and I'm pretty satisfied with those. Greg Burnett designed those. So I ran across one, and I had been looking for a fretless because I'm like, I need to add a fretless to my bass arsenal. There's no way around getting around. I need a fretless bass because there's some songs, and I just posted one, Michael Jackson's, and I actually thought that was a jazz. I thought it was a fretless bass when I heard it, but when I really listened to him, like, that's actually a synthesized bass. And I think Stevie Wonder played that because he wrote the song. So there's some songs that in the song they have either stand-up bass or bass fiddle, as they call them, or fretless. And the fretless bass has a very unique sound. And it's like, if you want to play a song that has it, you really kind of want a guitar that's fretless so you can play along with it and it sound good. So I found one. And before I show you, I'm just going to say this. When I was younger, you know, because it first started off with the bass fiddle. It was doing that or doing that. Then the electric bass came in. Then after the electric bass came in, because on the bass fiddle, on the fretboard, it's just blank. There's no dots. There's no fret indentations or nothing. It's just blank. And I'm saying to myself, how can you play that without some type of, you know, frets and to let you know what fret you're on and the dots? Because I remember my bass player who passed away within the last 2 years, miss him dearly, Skipper. And he had a Fender fretless. He would never play it. I'm like, why don't you ever play it? I have a hard time playing it. And I didn't understand, you know, because I didn't have one. But I'm like, as I think on it, I can see why. Because I'm like, if somebody give me a guitar right now and say, close your eyes and play this song, I might get through 20% playing it with my eyes closed because it's just muscle memory. But I'm not going to play it 100% right because I'm just guessing. I'm moving, and I'm like, and it's the same thing with the, you know, nothing on the frets. And I'm like, I want one that has fret indentation so I know why I'm playing. You know, but I think it was a tradition. It's like, if you can't play it like that, you can't cut the mustard. I don't know. But I'm like, I need one that's going to let me know where I'm at. You know, and they just started to do that now. I say within maybe the last 10 years. But prior to that, it's like, you just got to do what everybody else did. Just got through it. You know, but I kept looking until I found the right one for me. Because as you guys can see, and I'll stick it up to the camera, I think what they did for this is took out the metal frets and then glued it back down and sand it back down. Yeah. because that's what the guy told me he did. And it was a custom job, and it's a parts guitar custom, because the body is a SX, can't get it out, SX bass. I don't know what the neck is. The neck might be 2, but what I love what he did. He shaved it down, because this is actually a pretty good design. He should actually probably try to patent this, because when SS basses first came out, they had their standard design headstock, and I think Fender sued them, so they changed to this real hideous, ugly looking one. I mean, it was ugly, or it is ugly. So I'm really appreciative that he sanded it down, because apparently he thought it was ugly too. Sanded it down. He got some nice gauge strings on it. There's some additional custom work done with it, where there's 2 actually P-bass settings, pickups. Then there's a switch. I mean, this thing is great, and even the paint job is good. It's not high gloss, but I'll leave a link down there so you guys can hear me play it. I played the cover, Michael Jackson Can't Help, and also played Joe. I think it's If Loving You Is Wrong, because that particular song has a Fender, or should I say a fretless acoustic bass, so it's like that'd be perfect. But I'll stick it up to the camera in a minute. But I'm very pleased, because like I told you, with that red guitar, it's going back. Once the guy sends me a return label, because I'm not paying for shipping. When it came, it was not in working condition, and I believe that he knew that. It's like, well, how can you not know that? Once you get past the 12th fret down to the 14th, everything down here is dead. It's just buzzing and not ringing out notes. And I'm like, I know he knew when he sent it to me that it was in this condition. I mean, it's like, come on, man. I asked you about all this stuff, the action, and then he's like, the action's great and it feels good and it sounds good. So I'm waiting on that return label so I can ship that guitar back. But I'm very pleased with this guitar. I was looking for a Pacific guitar as far as a fretless, because I've never played a fretless and I never had one, but I like how they sound. And what's very distinctive about them is, when you got those frets, when you don't have those frets and you slide down, it gives you a very unique sound that you can't replicate on any other guitar, any other bass. I was watching a YouTube video, and I think I might have asked the guy, maybe I should have. He had a rhythm guitar that was fretless. I'm like, huh? I'm like, I've never ever seen one of those, and I would actually like to have one of those. I think somebody built it for him, but there's no way that I could play this without these lines. I'm like, this is my indicator where I'm at, and how far I can go before I slide down to the next note. But, when you look long enough, you find what you're looking for. Because once you become a really, seasoned musician, there's some ideas that you have that you can't find in a guitar, And somebody got the same idea somewhere. And thank God for the internet, because now you can find these people that had the same idea you had. Say, okay, I'm going to give you all of this. Because the famous legendary bass player who died a tragic death, Jocko, he said before he started playing, fretless, he had a regular standard Fender jazz bass, and he said he took off all the metals, got rid of and filled it in and just started playing, and the rest was history. But I'll stick it up to the camera and let you guys see it. So there it is, custom parts jazz fretless bass with some custom pickup work done on it and a tone switch. So until next time, take care. Like I said, whenever I get new stuff in, I do a review so you guys can, see what is a good quality and what to avoid, because the first and foremost thing now that I realized years later, because at first I thought it was the most important thing, was who made it? What country did it come from? What kind of wood it got on it? Does my hero play it? How much is it? And still, the first and foremost thing is it comfortable to play? Is the action low enough where you can play it? Because I surveyed you guys and you told me, hey, I want my action low. I don't want it no high. You know, there's a handful of people, when you ask a group of people, they might say, I want it high for reasons unknown. But the majority of you guys like, I want it low so I can play for hours, because I play for hours. You know, I'm a professional studio musician. I can play anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. Not 20 minutes a day. You know, you're just the average player. Pick it up after work and then strum 2 songs, put it down. This is what I do. I play every day. My hands are on this big metal strings every single day, whether it's bass guitar or rhythm guitar. You know, so I need something comfortable. You know, ain't no getting around it for me, because if it's not comfortable, that's going to throw off my whole day. It's going to hurt the session, because I'm too busy thinking about when is this going to be over instead of just feeling the music and giving my clients what they want. That's why it's really important to me. And maybe other people feel different or have a different opinion, but that's first and foremost important to me. Comfortable action. You know, all that other stuff is secondary. What it looks like, what it sounds like, and you can fix the sound in the mix with, you know, studio compression and all that stuff. What it sounds like, whose name up on the headstock, where did it come from, or what kind of wood is that? You know, that ain't important to me. You know, but the marketing has tricked us into believing that those things are more important than anything. Those things like who made it? You know, is it an American-made Fender? Is it a Korean-made Fender? You know, but I'm not going to go into that, because I did a whole video on that. It's called Don't Waste Your Money. You know, and I'll try to leave a link down here so you can check it out. Because again, for you beginners, you don't want to go out there and get ripped off. You know, you don't know what you're buying, and you don't know what quality to look for. You're just kind of out there. And the salespeople take advantage of you because, you know, you've already expressed to them, you know nothing about this. Cool. I'm about to sell this guy a big overpriced guitar. Instead of you come in, have a certain knowledge of what you're looking for and how much you're willing to pay. Because like I told you guys, I've never paid over $1,000 for a guitar and never will. Never, ever, ever will. I know this for a fact. If it's a couple of things I know for a fact is, I'm never going to spend that kind of money on a guitar, and I'm never going to eat any beats, okay? I was at the grocery store a couple of months ago, and this lady, they had these people that are demonstrating, or what they call it, sampling stuff, and she's like, you should try this, and it was like on this little toothpick. I'm like, oh, no. She's like, no, just try it. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to break my streak here. I want to leave out this place called Earth, leave this place called Earth, never, ever putting a beat in my mouth. Okay, so don't let me break my streak, or I'm not going to let you break my streak. And she laughed. But I'm going to sign off now. Till next time, take care. And I hope that this has been helpful to you guys as far as in search of a quality instrument and not getting robbed. Till next time, take care. Thanks for watching.